So you guys knew each other before the movie, right? A little bit?
We did. A little bit. We, in a very Hollywood way, shared the same physical trainer. Yeah, I knew Zach around, and actually the week or a couple days before I went into audition, I saw him at a Rock the Boat event or something, and I asked him about his process and how he knew JJ, what he thought of JJ, what he thought of the script and all that. And he was a tremendous resource. And in fact, when I went in and auditioned, ended up seeing him and auditioning with him, and knew pretty much off the bat that we would have a good time.
How did that chemistry help with the characters?
Well, I think anytime you have to have chemistry with another actor, it's really dangerous when you get into the territory of needing to manufacture it. So the fact that we had a baseline and an understanding of each other's backgrounds and process to a certain extent made it a lot easier for us to just step into that dynamic and bring it to life without having to work on it. You know, it's just there. And now I imagine it's there even more because we've had a great time traveling together and hanging out and taking the piss.
Are you prepared to end up like Nimoy and Shatner and be like best friends at the end of the whole Star Trek experience?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be the worst thing that could come of it, I imagine. But you know, we'll see.
What was the first sort of pinch me moment when you really got into these roles? Like something that you got to do that you're like, I kind of can't believe I'm doing this.
I think for me it was going to Leonard Nimoy's house. I was like, I'm going to Leonard Nimoy's house right now. That's kind of weird and intense, and ultimately really incredible, beautiful house, by the way. And he was very hospitable, and subsequently I've been there many times and hung out with him. And I think just the relationship that I forged with him and the affinity that I have for him was probably the thing that I take with me. You know, aside from the amazing actors and friends that I get to work with, and JJ and all of the stuff that everybody gets, it's for me a little bit of a separate kind of blessing that I got to have that experience as well.
And Chris, did you have that moment where you were just like, this is unbelievable?
I think really on the deck of the ship when everybody was in full costume, and you know, even having not been a fan, I was well aware of the story and these characters. So knowing that we were kind of, you know, breathing new life into it, and that you know, carrying the mantle, there were definitely a couple of pinch me moments for sure.
And now Kirk's got the reputation as the ladies' man, but we got to see the sexier side of Mr. Spock in this one. Were you a little jealous that he got a little...
Yes.
He remains jealous. He's barely speaking to me when we don't have to, when the cameras are not.
Really, it's been
trying
tough.
to work it out in therapy.
It's been tough going.
It's just
Spork therapy.
Spork therapy. It's not.
Yeah, I was a little bit. I thought, you know, my guy being the hero, I would get the girl and get to beat people up, and of course he gets to beat me up. And
did you ever stop to think that means that you're not the hero? But I beat people up and get the girl. I think we need to have a talk about the definition of hero.
We should talk about your passive aggressiveness.
All right, we'll talk about that.
I think you need to remember all of this stuff when you do your contract negotiations for the next one.
I'll give you 10%. There you go.